So global demand for oil and gas is rapidly approaching record levels again.
A new report from ATB Financial says oil production in Alberta is up more than 80% compared to the same time in 2010. But as a UN report cautions the world on the severity of climate change, pointing to the oil and gas sector, all eyes are on corporate Calgary to see what the future of energy will look like in the city. The report states that there is only one way humans can accomplish net zero, by saying goodbye to oil, coal, and gas, aka the world's most used energy source. But oil and gas are still economic drivers in Calgary, and it's still forecasted to grow.
The International Energy Agency predicts that global demand will get back to pre-COVID levels as early as 2023 and continue to grow for several decades.
The ATB Financial report shows oil production in Alberta is booming, with a 1.8% increase since before 2019. This is part of a long-term trend, as oil production so far this year is 86.2% higher than the same period in 2010. But even with these high trends, there are concerns for Canada.
I think that we are seeing increasingly investments in oil and gas shifting away from Canada and the US, largely for policy reasons. We're seeing increased investments in the Middle East, in Azerbaijan, potential investments offshore in South America and Africa. So I think that there is concern that we are going to be using more oil and gas in the years to come.
He adds investments should remain in Canada, arguing the country prioritizes innovation and technology and continuously drives down detrimental environmental impacts.
I think corporate Calgary has been worried about climate change for a long time. I think the idea that we're not worried about it, it's just a complete myth. So an example of that is a couple of weeks ago, 5 leading oil sands producers came out with what they call the Pathways Initiative, where they've said that they're working towards achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050.
As corporate Calgary makes room for new green initiatives, the UN report stresses that if we do reach net zero by 2050, global temperatures will reach 1.5 degrees Celsius before eventually dropping off. In Calgary, Christy Kilburn, City News.